historic discovery on rock. Our government agreed. In our country, we have so many days we are celebrating so frequently. Many days are related to the birth anniversary or the death anniversary of the eminent personalities of our nation. But this is one of the important day which has been totally dedicated to the work, scientific work, which has been done by the Nobel laureate, Sir C.V. Raman. Sorry, our SSO, Senior Scientific Officer, in his welcome address, he expressed very clearly day. So the importance of science used in daily life of the people. The main objective is to popularize science and technology, efforts and achievements in the field of science and human welfare, implementation of new technologies for the development of scientific-minded citizens in India. Every year, we are having some theme for this National Science Day. Today, that is for the year 2021, the theme for National Science Day is Future of STI, that is Science, Technology and Innovation, Impacts on Education, Skills and Work. If I am not wrong, if you go through the theme, every word is being captured very clearly. And if you understand the theme, that itself will make us to understand the science very clearly, because the impacts on education, skill and work. Mere education won't solve any purpose. Mere skill won't solve any purpose. Everything has to be coupled with work. Then only we can get some new ideas and innovations, technology, so that our scientific community will get some benefit out of it. And also, I can proudly say that today we are having our virtual platform. We are celebrating our National Science Day virtually. That is also a part of innovation, I can say. So we are stepping ahead, how we can do something in our scientific field. And this decade, I can say, 2020-2030, is the decade of artificial intelligence revolution and machine learning. Our Indian scientists have also started employing machine learning techniques in many key areas. I can say that it's related to biomedical diagnostics, wildlife conservation, and many more fields are there. Collaborations and networkings of scientific activities and showcasing to the general public, so that to attract the young and ignited mind is very crucial in the success of scientific enterprises. Mere invention won't do any role unless otherwise it is getting benefited to the general public, and also it should attract the young and ignited mind of our country. That is very much essential. And in this way, today's webinar, which is being organized by Puducherry Council for Science and Technology, Department of Science, Technology and Environment, we have two technical lectures followed by question session. The first lecture, which is being handled by Dr. S. Vincent, is the former member secretary from Tamil Nadu State Council for Science and Technology, Chennai. He is going to deliver his lecture on the title Future of STI, Impact on Education. Whereas the second lecture is being handled by Dr. Joseph Selvin. He is the professor and head Department of Microbiology, Pondicherry University, Puducherry. He is going to speak about future of STI, impacts on skill and work. I hope this webinar will certainly be a wonderful session for the participants who are keen to know about science, technology and innovation in future, with the impact in education, skill and work to be delivered by the eminent dignitaries in their respective field. I thank one and all. Thank you.
Masters in Zoology and won the Meritorious Institutional Education Award by Department of Environment, Government of Tamil Nadu. He has also won Matthias National Award for Innovative College Teachers by AIA CHI New Delhi in the year 2002. And National Academy of Biological Sciences 2014 is the Dean of Research, Laila College, College of Excellence, Chennai, as well as Director, Laila Institute of Frontiers Energy in Laila College. Director, Center for Environmental Research and Development, PG and Research, Department of Advanced Zoology, Laila College, from 2012 to till date. He had done many research works in environmental biology, ecology, aquatic toxicology, mental toxicity, geoinformation systems, and disease epidemiology, and disease informatics. Sir, it's our great honor to welcome you on such day and to have your presentation as well as to share your technical expertise, your skill, knowledge on the said subject. Thank you, sir. Now the session is for you. And the first lecture by Dr. S. Vincent on future of STA impacts on education. Thank you, sir. You can proceed, please.
Yes, sir. So thank you so much for your warm welcome and also as nice introduction. Respected Director and Member Secretary, Puducherry State Council for Science and Technology, and the participants. I'm extremely happy to associate with you today in eve of a very important day, the National Science Day. The National Science Day, and in fact, it's as our director as well as the senior scientific officer mentioned, it is very important day for India. If you want to take our country as a country of developed, I think we should put more effort in science and technology. That's the reason, as our director pointed out, and now we are in the process of taking the country into the innovation mode. This is what the today topic also, the future SNT and impact in the country. And that's the reason, and we are in the process of taking our country to the level of the country of innovations. When you think of this innovation, if you try to define innovation, it is nothing but necessity is a mother of innovation. If you understand somebody's problem or the issue which is going around, and if you could provide solution, this is called innovations. Today we are solving many problems through research, and that solution become the innovations. So if you want to really into the domain of innovation, you should understand the problem of the country, problem of the people, problem of the place, and where if you could provide solution through research, that should be called an outstanding innovation. And I'm seeing many students are presented here, and you should understand the innovation means, and you should really understand the problem of the people, problem of the place and the country, then you all become the great innovator. I think today is a very important day to decide how we all can understand the problem of this country or problem of the people, and wherein through your education, through your research, if you could provide a solution, then you all become to be called an outstanding scientist of this country. This is my wish and greetings to all of you in the very important day of National Science Day. And in this title, I really like this title because it's a theme given by the government and SND for future. And before it, we should also understand how this innovation, which really taking us to the great level. If you look at my PowerPoint, and where you will understand and the how the research provide solution and how it's converted us into the research. This is going to be the future S&D. If you do research, you are taking this country for sustainability and development. And also, when you are in the process of doing research, and you are also building a knowledge-driven growth in the country. Because a country grow its knowledge, then it's to be called the knowledge, the country with the knowledge, definitely it will grow. So that is what, and as you are in the process of doing research, and you are providing the country sustainability and development, at the same time, you are also providing a growth and out of the knowledge, because when you do research, new knowledge which you are able to get into that. Then it becomes the knowledge reservoir in the international level. And even today, our country and our scientists on board with an international level, it all because of the research. And out of this research, the knowledge generated becomes the knowledge of the world. And that is what even Sir C. Raman, as our director said, the Raman effect. The Raman effect, now it's given a great revolution to the world in the communication era. And today the communication is well built. It's on the base of Raman effect. I think we should proud as an Indian and how the Raman given this concept to the world, and wherein we have established the communication as very much. And now, even during the Corona time, we used the innovation and in fact the communication system throughout the world very effectively. And today the students are all very great beneficiary, and you are getting your lesson in your desktop, and the place where you are sitting, it's all because of an outstanding concept given by our Raman, and that's to be called Raman effect. Today, all communication institutions are following his concept. That is the Raman effect. Then, as you are doing the research, and the research provide innovation, I have already mentioned about it, how the innovation and where the innovation is really works and how it's working onto that. And again, as you are a researcher, you are able to provide process, concept, and product. Today, the kind of product we get into that, the kind of device, or the kind of the concept, or the kind of process, even if we say in early time, to open a computer, it take an hours, but now a matter of few minutes, we are operating the computer and without any struggle. It all the process which we have done and the kind of product which we are developing and which provide a very great relief to our people. So that's what now many great things which are going on around us, and it become an outstanding thing into that. Now, I should evidently tell you today, the science and technology, how given a very great name and fame to our country over the period. And even I can say that since independence and the concentration which we provided, or the governments or and officials or research center which provide the concept to us through research, and our country achieved many great things. I think the whole world or the whole country should salute science and technology, because the science and technology provide a green and wonderful things to our country. For example, now our country, it's well self-sufficient in production of food, milk, fruits, vegetable, drugs, and vaccine. I think being an Indian, we should feel happy through science and technology. Today we have a food security, and we are top in the world, and we are the second in the world in production of milk. We are third in fruits, and of course again we are fourth in vegetable production. And the drugs and vaccine, today the whole country is so happy because our scientists, through science and technology, developed vaccine, and now we are supplying to another country. I think this is the word, and we should remember how the science and technology is very, very important. And today we realized the importance of science and technology, and because of the science and technology and how we really self-sustained ourselves, the statement which I already made to you, how we are developing ourselves and how the sustainability which we have, it all because of the SND, the science and technology, and that has happened through our research. So today, and you can feel proud and being a country and having 130 crore of people having enough food, and we are able to supply milk to everybody, and of course the fruits availability to everybody, and the kind of variety of vegetables we have, and the kind of drugs development in many antibiotics or vaccine, we are top in the world. Then green revolution, and the country given a success story. And we have to remember Professor M.S. Swaminathan and the C. Subramaniam, then agricultural minister. They were the reason to provide green revolution in the country. Today, the food security is well established, and the green revolution, and through green revolution, we are able to achieve that fruits and vegetables. And today what we are having, and the kind of the variety of paddy, brinjal, and potato, tomato, what else you can name, and everything is happened because of the green revolution. But you should know that the amount of the science and technology put into that, and the basic science, advanced science, which brought a success story of green revolution. Today we have even overcome malnutrition problem among our children. So that is what happening. Then white revolution, and you know that the father of white revolution, Korean, and where he was the reason, and through science and technology integrated the science and technology and ensured the milk production in the country. And today we are able to supply, and our country top in the world in the milk production. It's all because of the science and technology, and that too done by Korean. And this is another success story because of the research and the science and technology, and the satellite and communication development. And I think, and even tomorrow we are going to launch BSLV rocket. How it's happened? It all again, and I should thank the many Vikram Sarabhai, many other people put their effort, and it become the very big trend today, and the kind of satellite, and now our ISRO, and it become a regular phenomena to launch many rockets for the benefit of and our agriculture, aquaculture, and horticulture, and many other, even climatic change and forecasting, and everything is now very pakam. In early time, you know that when the meteorological department says we get rain, there is a possibility, a slight error in that. Sometime maybe, sometime may not be. But today, how accurate today? If you are getting, they say, and today we, the Pondicherry, Tamil Nadu may get a rain, it is there. How it's happened, accuracy, how it's happened, it's because of the satellite and communication development, and the drug and vaccine manufacturing. And this is the, now the present example, how we are, our scientists, our science and technology provided an outstanding contribution to the country as well as to the world in terms of drugs and vaccine and corona, and our drugs and our vaccine is well used and throughout. And then telecom revolution, and that's what I have already mentioned to you, how the telecom revolution is going on and how the Raman effect works into that. Then IT revolution, and today the whole country is proud and we are top in IT revolution, and this is the way, and many achievements which we are able to do that. Where I should highlight few things to you. Under the green revolution, how the science and technology contributed, our research contributed to our nation. If you say in the year which we got independence, 1947, the 6 million tons of wheat only we were able to make it. But the consistent effort and through science and technology, through research, then we started to grow in that. And the year 1964, it doubled to 12 million tons of wheat. And the year 1970 to 20, and of course at 70 it was 20 million tons of wheat and 42 millions of rice. And of course in the year 2018, now we are with 100 million tons of wheat and 130 million tons of rice. Now you understand how the science and technology given a big revolution to the people of this country. I think everybody should realize today how the science and technology is important, how the scientists are important, how research is important. I think the students should get a message from this presentation today. When you are doing research, when you are in the science and technology, and I think you are contributing something to the nation in terms of development. I always say, the science and technology always construct the country. It is never destroy the country. And I think this is what the young students should remember now, and how the development, the science and technology research, how is helped from 6 million tons of wheat to 100 million tons of wheat, because of the science and technology. And today, as our director rightly pointed out, this is a milestone day for everybody. Everyone celebrate this day, even more than any other event, because this is the day, and we are able to get food today, or we are get comforts, we are getting all the medical facility because of the science and technology. Then coming to white revolution, and if you could see that now in the year 2018, we are able to produce 164 million tons of milk every day. It's all because we are able to provide, and because the kind of the science and technology which we made and research which we put, that helped our country, and our children are able to get the milk, because the milk is a very fundamental food for children, which really removed the malnutrition problem in the country. So that's what, and even the pulses, that is what, and even today the ration shop, why the pulses are supplied, because this is a rich in protein and which will remove the malnutrition problem into that. Then satellite and communication revolution, you know that, how the country established the Vikram Sarabhai, and he has, with the government support in Indian National Committee for Space Research in the year 60. Then the satellite instruction television experiment. Then Aryabhatta, and it's very popular. Then INSAT IRS series of satellite. Now it's become the regular phenomena, as I already mentioned, and all the satellite which we are making it to that. Then through our science and technology, the kind of drugs and vaccine, and through pharmacy of world, that is in India, the National Chemical Laboratory, NCL, Pune, it is very popular. the Central Drug Research Institute and CSIR laboratory, and wherein so much of science and technology development which we made, and out of it we are able to get drugs and vaccine clearly. Then the telecommunication, and where the country has established Telecom Research Center in the 1960, then Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, then Center for Development of Telecommunication Matrix. But today, so many institutions are really putting so much of R&D, research and development, and so that we are getting many things into that. Then the IT revolution, and it's a very obvious reason our country is doing well, and many engineering graduate are into the process, and that's the reason so many IT revolution which we are, and so much revenue also we are doing into that. Then the blue revolution, where our country putting a lot of research and development, and now the fish production which are coming, and then Indian Council of Agriculture Research, and they're also working more towards both aquaculture and agriculture, especially related to the protein-rich the food for the sake of people. So from this, and you should really understand today, and the day we celebrate National Science Day, somebody asks you, what science did for you? I think this is what evidence. And I think you all should become an ambassador to advocate how the research, how science and technology, and how the innovation help the country to come up in how we were in the year 1947, how we are in the year of 2021. And where you should also remember the importance of science and technology, how and especially being a student, you should feel proud. And I am studying science. Sometimes the people may feel, and what I am going to do by studying science. And one day you remember yourself, the science is everything to provide solution for this nation. That's the reason even today, and the many scientists in the country are well remembered. And even Abdul Kalam, and he become a president of this country because of his contribution is made out of science and technology. I think you should make note of it. Because and Abdul Kalam, and of course I understand senior scientific officer from an Abdul Kalam Center, and where we are keeping his name. Why? It's not because of a president, and more than that, how he has really contributed this nation through science and technology. That's what we are remembering those people. And even we are attending this webinar through this mode, and through Abdul Kalam Center, and of course Puducherry State Council for Science and Technology. It all because of the contribution made such eminent people. And I tell you, when you become people of those level, and the country will also remember you. So that's why you need not worry about what's going here and there. But being a science student or scientist, and you start to contribute to the country will really acknowledge you. And that is what we should do. And please remember, and we all should work on to. In this process, I am giving one model to you, all of you, in the sense the student community, how I can accommodate or adopt science and technology in my life. That is what today we should really take a pledge, because we are all an academic sector, and we are in the education, wherein you should learn how my education, how I should take the education for the transformation of this country, and especially the poor people of this country. If you could address the people needs, the people will remember. Wherein I can tell one example. 2-3 years back, one of the women scientists in Nairobi, she got World Nobel Prize. The World Nobel Prize, in the sense food prize, is equal to Nobel Prize. I'm sorry that. The Nobel Prize is, of course, different. The World Food Prize is equal to Nobel Prize. And wherein Professor M.S. Swaminathan also got it. In fact, it's a very big money. The prize money is very big, as equal with the Nobel Prize. This lady got it. Is a scientist. What happened in this Nairobi? There are malnutritional issues. The children are born with abnormalities. Then there was a research. Then the research has undertaken where the scientists identify the very big issue, the malnutrition problem, because a child grows. The first 3 years is very important. Within this 3 years, if you are not supplementing with adequate protein diet, there won't be any brain development. Actually, that child becomes a burden to herself or himself, or to the country also. But it's a highest responsibility of country. We cannot have such children where we should address the problem. That's the reason this lady, what she has done, she identified a crop we call sweet potato. Seenikalang, in Tamil we say Seenikalang. That she identified few variety of sweet potato and started to grow wherever the wastelands are available. She asked permission with the government. The government also provided a permission to plant the sweet potato wherever it is possible. Because she convinced the government saying that this sweet potato, which has all the essential minerals, vitamins, and protein, and energy, if we could start to provide this to the children, they will come out from the malnutrition problem. So that they will not born with, or they will not lead into the abnormality. So she started to grow. More than 6 years, she used to grow this and supply to locally to the children and give it to the parent, ask them to boil it and give every day in the morning as well as in the night. I tell you, matter of 6-7 years, the malnutrition problem has been totally solved. Then the world recognized that scientist. She became the very, very important person of this world. And today I am giving herself an example to you how the problem, the perennial problem of a place, how it's solved by a scientist through science and technology. And I should tell you today, if you could understand a problem, please start to do research and identify the reason. And once you identify the reason, start to work to solve it. I think the whole world will salute us. For that, the research is the tool. But when you want to do research, you should have a real interest into that. It's not for the sake of promotion or for the sake of publication, no. And of course, you can do as an academic interest, but when you do research, and it should really solve the problem which is existing already into the society, but for which you need an interest and of course the motivation. Today webinar is such a time. It's a motivation to all of you. It is organized by Puducherry State Council for Science and Technology and Environment and Dr. Abdul Kalam Center. It all made for you to motivate you to get into science and technology. So that is what that you should have an interest. And the interest means You should have a passion towards it. And I should have a mind to do research. So when you have this tool, an interest and motivation, and obviously you will be at the pursuit of excellence in research. So that's way, and you should really get into research. But when you get into research, you need a challenge. You will have a challenge. But when you have a challenge and you are ready to meet that challenge, and you will be the success or you will be the achiever. I think this concept is common to everybody. When you are ready to accept challenge, you will be an outstanding, successful person in the life. But most of us run away from challenge, run away from the responsibility. And I tell you today, being a student, you should make note of it. If you are ready to accept the responsibility, ready to face the challenge, and you will be an outstanding achiever in your life, to the country, to the world. This two virtue, you should remember it. So when there is some responsibility given to you, please try to accept and put your effort. Some challenge which you come across, you accept it. That challenge is very, very important for you. And when you do take these two elements of this challenge and accepting responsibility, and you will be an outstanding person. But when you are into the research, you become the person of skill. Because today we need a people of the skill. That's what today, the next topic, Dr. Selvin is going to address you. How it's going to build skill, the science and technology, how it's going to build the skill. Because today the country is going to develop the people of skill, because the skill is very important. Today the vaccine development which we made, because the skill which we acquired through research. So that's why it is totally, when you are getting into the research, it is a new skill, it is in your hand. You should remember that. The people are not with the skill, no one will respect. Today, the people are having great respect as you have the skill. For example, if you are getting into the flight, the whole focus towards pilot, how he is going to take us safely. But you know that except pilot, no one can operate, because it's a new skill which you and we or I cannot. So when you are into the research, the skill is possessed by you, especially by you. And that's what is called new skill. And for example, if you are able to isolate a DNA, it's a skill of you. Not all can do that. So if you are able to isolate a DNA and seeing under the microscope, the kind of joy you get, but by knowing by others, the people will say the man is very outstanding researcher. And of course, Dr. Selvin is outstanding in microbiology. And of course, he is there in the Pondicherry University itself. It's a skill. It's a skill he built over the period through his research. So that's what when you are into the research and you are the person of skill, then you will have the capability for better understanding and interpretation of literature. And also recognizing any new challenge, question that you need to investigate. That's what you should remember that. So when you are a researcher, you are not with an ordinary person's nature. You are with the skill, that skill which very specific to you. Then you will be a person of interpreting that an information through literature. Then similarly recognizing the new question that which you need into that. Then when you are into the research, you should remember this is what the core, which I like to tell you, so that I will make my presentation justifiable to you. I told in the beginning, the innovation, when you try to define innovation, then you understand the problem of the people, that's called innovation. But very important thing, in the process of research, you should identify the problem. That's what question identify. Then once you identify the problem, you have to formulate hypothesis. That means by addressing the problem, by approaching the problem, what are things I am going to get? So you should be clear on that. Then you should make a plan, the research plan. And that's what through methodology, that's what we call methodology. And when you are through methodology, with the kind of instrument which you use it, or the survey which you do that, and you will get the data. Then you will analyze the data. Then you will interpret that. Then finally a new question comes. That's the reason the research is the one which have a cycle. You should remember that a person become a researcher. Till his death, he will be a researcher. Because as you start to do research, you get new question to solve it. And that is the beauty of S&D. The science and technology is the perennial resource to give idea. That's what people used to say. You need a scientific approach. What is the scientific evidence we have? And that's what you should remember, that you have to. Recently, I should highlight one very important thing during Corona period in connection with that. And the Kabasura Kudineer, and it is a Siddha formulation. This is the formulation, and where the people started to provide it to the people. It really helped to control the Corona, COVID-19, and especially in Tamil Nadu, as almost South India, and including Puducherry. But people to ask question, what is the scientific validation? That time only people realized, especially Siddha people realized, and they cannot only say, this is the Kabasura Kudineer which will cure Corona or COVID-19. They cannot say. They can say only it will control. But what I along with some researcher, we started to do docking study. And of course, the genome about the Kabasura Kudineer, and of course, the comparing it, how it's docking or countering, or how it's preventing the replication of virus, the COVID-19. And that docking study given a clear scientific evidence. From Kabasura Kudineer, what are the compound which is masked the replication of the coronavirus, the COVID-19, and we evidently proved, then it became the very big news, and even a journal called a Frontier, and the journal which published it, then it was a news to the, and where Siddha people thanked us. Why I'm highlighting to you this? When you are not able to prove anything scientifically, and that product or that research, that innovation will not taken into consideration. And even I can tell many examples. Sometimes people may say, and I have a petrol, I have a diesel. But when it's not proved scientifically, it cannot be accepted. So that's the reason. And you people really, when you are getting into the research, and when you are incorporating science and technology component into that, and prove very transparently to the world then the world will accept it. When it's accepted, and why, even today, why the vaccine is tested in animal? Why tested in, of course, why the people had done docking study? Then how it's become the human trial? And because it should be scientifically proved, otherwise no one will accept the vaccine. Even World Health Organization will not accept it. So when you want to really provide a solution to the people, and it should have a science and technology compound, and as you are doing, and definitely you will take into that. I'm coming to a conclusion, wherein, and today's topic, and the future SND, and for the innovation, and to solve the problem, and you through research, and which going to provide three important things to us. And hereafter, the science and technology should move towards it, or the science and technology centers should move towards it. A researcher should move towards it, because now we are incorporating into the science and technology as an outcome-based and innovation-based solution to the world, to the people. That's what we should undertake, path-breaking research. Many people used to think the path-breaking research means something should be very advanced. No. And I tell you, the lady which given the solution for malnutrition problem in Nairobi is a path-breaking research. Even I can tell you, the Kabasura Kudineer has a scientific evidence to cure COVID-19, even that variants, the mutant virus. It's a path-breaking research, because you are able to provide whatever research you do that, and your scientific input, the technology input become a strong one, and that by which you become the path-breaking research. This is going to be future SND. The second one is, and of course, to do research, you need fund. Even now, the government is also in the plan. The Innovation Research Council, they are going to start. And there will be a funding, and we have to allot more fund for research. And I tell you, even I have appealed to the government of India in one meeting, and the allocation should be more for science and technology for the better India. I think, and the allocation and is going to also is more, and we have to really make a portion which is totally for science and technology. Then the third one is protecting the intellectual property rights. I think now it's slowly picking up. When I was a member secretary, and I have instituted 5 IPR cell in the university. When I started, it was only 4 or 5. And today I proudly say, in each university, IPR cell has more than 300 and more the intellectual property in their hand. This is going to be the future property of our country. So with this, and I'm very happy to tell you, this day is very important, and the students should also keep this day near to your heart and keep yourself. And if you want to get into science and you are going to contribute something to this society, with this, I really thank and Sadish, because all the time Sadish was after me, sir, you should come and make a presentation, and hope this presentation would have been the some eye-opening for most of you. So thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity provided to me by the Puducherry State Council for Science and Technology and Environment and Abdul Kalam Center. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir,
Yes.
for your good presentation. It is time for question hours. Participants, if you have any question, you may ask now. Participant, now you may ask the question.
Someone can give a lead.
So far, no questions from the chat box also. So now we move on to the next presentation. Thank you, sir.
Okay, the second lecture is going to be handled by Dr. Joseph Selvin, Professor in Department of Microbiology, Pondicherry University, on future of STI, impacts on skills and work. Sir is a fellow National Academy of Sciences, recipient of Jawaharlal Nehru Award by the Indian Council of Agriculture Research, and Sir is a member of Task Force in Marine Biotechnology and Aquaculture, Marine National Products, Department of Biotechnology, Ministry of Sciences. Sir is the chairman of Board of Studies in Microbiology of Pondicherry University. Sir, for your presentation, please.
இதானா சார்? இதானா சார்? பிபிடி தானே? சார் ஓகே பிபிடி. இவ்வளவு வேணுமா அது வேணுமா? Good morning, all. Is it audible? Okay. So, at the outset, I'm thankful to the Director and the Secretary of Pondicherry Science and Technology. So, I will be giving some insight after Dr. Vincent. He introduced all the dimensions of research and technology development. So, I will be discussing with you about the future of science, technology, and innovation impacting skills and work. So I'm Professor Joseph Selvin from Department of Microbiology, Pondicherry University. So first we know what is science, technology, and innovation. So actually, if we see the history of science in India, so we have actually almost 5 policy documents. The first policy was introduced in 1958, and the latest version of the policy document, the fifth one, is available in January 2021. So the science, technology, innovation is actually play a significant role in advancing human, social, and economic development. Not only that, meeting the aspirations of people and nations across the world. Understanding the science, technology, innovation process and exploring the ways to strengthen them has evolved a major vertical of intellectual activity. According to UNESCO, investment in science, technology, and innovation is essential for economic development. So today my talk will be going around the vision of our Honorable Prime Minister of India, Sri Narendra Modi. This is about Atmanirbhar Bharat, that is a self-sufficient India. How it is possible? So that is only through research and development that can foster sustainable development by building greener and most inclusive societies. So first we see the Atmanirbhar Bharat, a self-reliant India. So this is actually the self-reliant India is with 5 pillars. One is economy, infrastructure, and systems development, demography, and demand. So see, this self-reliant India is a greater emphasis given on the traditional knowledge. Actually, we know India is the only country having the longest tradition. By our own culture, we have indigenous technologies and grassroots innovations that never been taken forward, include the Ayurveda and Siddha. So at the time of COVID-19, we learned many. Actually, we have the bad time. By the same time, we have the chance to collaborate each other between the R&D institution, academia, and industry. We all know that the fastest development of the vaccine within a short period of time. So the entire world now endorses the India is the hub of vaccine development. So to accelerate further the innovations in the country, so involving the higher education institutions, making the education at all levels are more inclusive and connected to with the economy and the society. So this, with considering this fact, the new education policy will promote skilled manpower instead of so far we are actually promoting knowledgeable manpower. So knowledge and skill is essential to promote science and technology and innovation in India. So one by one, I will just take forward quickly. So what is required for this innovation and take forward the country self-reliant on the technologies? Did you know most of the technologies actually we relied on the Western world? So most of the drugs available in the pharmacies actually that is the patent rights are with the Western world. So most of the vaccines, the patents are available with the Western world. Then we are adopting the technology, and in future, so India should have our own technology instead of we are adopting the technology. That would be possible. So I maybe many students are maybe in the online meeting, and those who are little maybe crossing 25 years of age, you might have known better. Before 5 years of time, if you wanted to access a good journal in science, nature or science, so we cannot download the full paper. So what will happen? Be able to read the abstract and title of the paper or the article, that is not sufficient to understand what is written, what is revealed in the article. So the discovery is actually not transformed as immediately. It will take over a period of time to access the journal articles and read and get ready to take up our research. But now the world is moving fast forward, that is open science. So the recent DST policy is promoting one nation, one subscription, means be able to access, even the entire public can access all the research outcome from the public funded projects, including state and central governments, and this rights to access to the scholarly publications, research data, resources including infrastructure, equipments, and computing facilities, libraries, learning space, etc. So everything become openly access. What will happen? The research will grow in a very faster or exponential way instead of incremental growth. Okay, so the capacity development. See, this is the prime most important. Did you know at the time of COVID time, the world have many reports. If you read one of the report, the India is the only country having the young population. So our strength is actually the young population, means the youth population. So the youth population transforming the entire population into our asset, that can be possible only through capacity building. So our all the youth or the students are actually knowledgeable, but we equip them with technical frontier technologies what emerging today. Particularly, we can strengthen them by education and research, skill building and training, and infrastructure developments. Through that, we can build a trained population or industry ready manpower required for technology and development. See, that is possible only through, we all know, research and development. See, so far, most of our research is basic research. What we do some research, we write an article or we write a publication or a dissertation or a thesis, that's all. But the article or the publication or thesis never crossed the lab to land or lab to the industry or lab to the commercial sector. So, did you know the United Nations National Science Foundation have a report? So that report revealed that India is the third largest publishing country in the world. The third largest in publishing country is India. So in such a way, we are contributing a lot to the science. So why are we lacking? So they did the analysis on the impact of this research. So while they are analyzing the impact, where they find India is far behind. Why we are far behind? Because all our research outcomes are not transforming into technology or commercial sector. So that's the reason. So far we do a lot of basic research. Now the research should be transformed into translational. Once we start the translational research, India become the frontier country or the developed country in the world. So first, the next prime important is research and development. So research and development leads to the innovation ecosystem, that is entrepreneurship. See, we all know that there are many technologies available in our society itself. So integrating the cross-root technologies and innovations and the science and technology enable entrepreneurship. Because I told you, we have the India is having the youth population or the young population which never thought of in any country. So we have the asset. So we transform this population as entrepreneur or entrepreneurship. What will happen? So that will be the beginning of our country become self-reliant country. So if you see, one of the things you can imagine, the technology development and indigenization, that is Make in India. So we have this slogan, actually we are working on it, whether it will take time to reach the target. However, we see very simple technology, I can say pottery. So everybody knows that. Now the China clay is ruling every world, every part China clay is there, but Indian clay is nowhere. then what is lacking? So when we take this pottery field through science and technology innovation, we are able to transform this technology, this traditional technology as a indigenous and commercial technology for all over the world. It is possible. So it requires strategic technologies and technologies as well as sustainability and enhancing the technology development through our academic sector. By all the time, any development, always we know, require equity and inclusion. So we are all actually different culture, different ethnic groups, different situation, different background, but we all come together. If you separate anyone from the system, what will happen? We cannot achieve the target. So it requires always a mainstreaming equity and inclusion. So we all together be able to achieve Atmanirbhar Bharat quickly. So I told you open science. What's the difference between open science and science communication? So bit small difference. See, open science means we are accessing the journals and articles, those who are published. But science communication means those happen in the research happen in the laboratory, how fast we can transform this technology into the public. You know the COVID-19 vaccine, how fast it is reached our public. Now it is going around. Therefore, the research leads to capacity building, and the capacity building and subsequently is reached the outreach programs. For example, agriculture technology that should be taken to the farmer only by some NGOs and societal groups. So thereby we can take forward the research what is happening in the laboratory to the public. So previously all our research in documents, but hereafter translational research means we should translate the research to the public, to the end user, to the industry, etc. The next one, our vision is actually India become the global biomanufacturing hub. So this vision, the biomanufacturing sector predicted growth in next 5 years of time. In 2025, India will be the US $150 billion industry we will have. So this growth is exponential. How we can achieve such a greater growth? So you just observe what is the asset we have. India is ranked among the top 12 biotech destinations in the world, ranks third in Asia. So current finance estimates of our industry size is $63 billion industry we have already, which is expected to grow $150 billion industry in the financial year 2025. So the biotech industry-based companies, now we have almost greater than 3,500 biotech startups already we have, estimated to reach 10,000 by 2025. So the biotech sector is primarily divided into 5 major segments, including biopharma, bioservices, bioagri, bioindustrial, bioinformatics, etc. So you might have thought that as I am from life science background, that's the reason I am giving biotechnology and life science. In addition, physics, chemistry, all the fields are coming up. So which together contribute to our bioeconomy. So you can see this slides will explain you. So how fast we are moving towards $150 billion industry in India. So that along with actually once the industry is growing, there is no skilled manpower, that should be a failure. So we require the youth population should be skilled, trained along with the industry promotion. Thereby we can achieve the target of a self-reliant India in the future, at least by 2025. So this is a little more statistical data. It explains about. So we have the bioeconomy is $51 billion current status. It is moving now, means 2020 it is $60 billion industry. 2022 it became $100 billion industry, and 2024 or 25 it became $150 billion industry. So we have now almost 3,000 plus startup, and